Hello. Highway this week comes from Aberdeen, which most people think of as being the centre of the offshore oil industry. But for hundreds of years, it's also been the centre for agriculture. The farming community of East Scotland has many unique traditions, which John Meehan's here is going to tell us about. John, what is it like being a farm worker as a boy?
Well, these horses are bringing back very happy memories to me of my childhood days. I was born on a farm, I was brought up on the farm, and I left school at 14 to work on the farm. And of course, there were no tractors in those days. It was the horses that did the heavy work on the farm. And so it's very, very happy memories, these horses.
What was the pay like in those days?
Well, the pay was prior to the First World War, the pay was around about £30 for a ploughman for 6 months. They were paid 6 monthly. Yeah. And they were feed at the Fian markets. Now, the Fian market was a place where they were engaged. Yeah. And the farmers met their servants, and they arranged with them how much they were paid for the next 6 months farm labour. Yeah. And it amounted to, as I say, around about £30 and so on for a horseman, £28 for a cattleman, and a boy newly left school would have been £8 to £10 for the 6 months. And they were paid on at 12 o'clock on term day. Now, term days, there were 2 term days in the year, the 28th of May and the 28th of November. And they didn't require money at all through the 6 months. If they ran up bills, well, when they got their pay, at 12 o'clock on the next term day, then they paid up their bills.
What sort of bills do they have to pay?
Well, they had the tailors to pay, they had the shoemaker to pay, and folks like that. They were very, very honest, hard-working folks. And they were tremendous pride in their horses. They got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, they fed their horses for the first time at that time, and then they had their own breakfast at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, the horses would be harnessed and ready for the day's work.
How were they accommodated?
Well, they were accommodated, the married men, they were accommodated in what was known as quarter houses. That was just cottages. And they got their meal, milk and tatties, their perquisites. And then the single men at the bigger farms, they lived together in what was known as a bothy. Now, here's a lady you'd like to meet.
I know it is.
Hello, Sir Harry.
Veronica Woodman of the National Trust for Scotland.
That's right.
See, I'll be well briefed.
That's right.
All I can do is get down. Oh, stop bad, is it?
Hello.
Nice
to meet you. Welcome to Pitmedden and our Museum of Farming Life. Can I show you around? Would you like to come see our farmhouse?
After you. John's following, isn't he?
Yes. Come in, Sir Harry. Come and have a look at our kitchen. Here we are in a kitchen of a farmhouse in the northeast of Scotland. Round about 1910 it's been furnished, and the focal point of the heart of the family is here at the range. And up in here in this corner, we call this a swee. Some people call it a swai, a sway, but here it is with the kettle boiling. I think there could be porridge in the pot. And it's just the central point for all the family to gather round. The kitchen was really the heart of the domestic world. This piece of furniture is quite interesting. It's called a dies, from Buchan, a Buchan dies, and you see 3 drawers down here at the bottom. This centre one's tin-lined, and it's, I'm told, with absolute authority, that it was used for putting the porridge in. And the story goes that the farm wife, at the beginning of the week, would make a pot of porridge, and it would be turned into the drawer where it would be allowed to solidify and go cold. The farm wife would cut a piece of porridge and give it to the worker to take out to the field for his midday lunch. And to this day in Scotland, we still talk about packed lunches being called a piece. Some people call it a snap or bait down in England, but up here in Scotland, it's a piece, and it originates from the piece of porridge. Music was at the heart of the home entertainment. People were very insular, they kept close-knit communities, and music played a very important part in the northeast life. And there was no being shy about standing up to do your party piece. Much of the folklore and the music of the northeast is still preserved in bothy ballads, and I think John here's got a song to give us.
Yes, I'll sing your bothy ballad. I remember many, many happy evenings I've spent round the fireside singing Bothy ballads. And there's one chap that I remember. He always sang with his brose cap and a wooden spoon, imitating the horse walking in the road. Now, this song here that I'm going to sing, it gets its name from a farm up near Huntly. It's Drumdale, and it goes something like this. There's a farm up in Kearney, the skid is far and wide. There be the grain from Deldy upon sweet Devon side. The fair Malloy on Muckle to his with hard to sail. And the callous day that timber blast his servants get their share. 5 o'clock we quickly rise and hurry down the stair. It's there to corn where horses likewise distract their hair. Sign after work and half an hour each day the kitchen goes. It's there to get our breakfast which is generally brose.
I've decided to like horse-drawn transport, no pollution and no nasty petrol fumes. It suits Aberdeen. It's known as the Silver City because all the houses are made of granite. On my left here are 3 very fine examples of granite architecture. Central Library, St Mark's, and His Majesty's Theatre, known as Education, Salvation and Damnation. Well, I'm heading for Damnation because I'm going to visit one of Britain's finest theatres and meet the Donnell brothers, whose family bought His Majesty some 50 years ago. Here we go. Thank you, Eleanor. The Donnell brothers, I presume.
Good morning,
Good morning, how do you do?
And welcome to His Majesty's Theatre.
Thank you. You're James.
That is correct. That's my brother, Peter.
How do you do? Pleased to meet you. Let's have a look inside a lovely theatre of yours. It's a very beautiful theatre, isn't it?
Well, it's very nice of you to say so.
How old is it?
It's exactly 80 years old, Sir Harry. In fact, last month, we celebrated our 80th birthday.
Did you really?
Now, perhaps you'd like to come and sit in here.
Isn't this magnificent? It's marvellous, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad you think so,
Oh,
because
really,
we've spent
yes.
a lot of money recently refurbishing the theatre. In fact, it was refurbished, totally refurbished, just 4 years ago.
Was it? It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Cost a lot of money, £3.5 million, in fact.
It did?
It did, indeed.
How long has your family been connected with the theatre?
Well, for 53 years now, we've had family connections. with
And
the
you're
building.
still a theatre director, are you?
Still running it now on behalf of the Aberdeen District Council.
Why is it called His Majesty's?
Well, the reason for that was it was opened in 1906, and it was Edward VII was the monarch at the time, and it was named after him.
Oh, that's why the other one, Her Majesty's in London, is called after Victoria.
Right. That's right, that's right.
Technically, backstage, it's very good too, isn't it?
It's excellent. We've got all the modern facilities that one could wish.
Didn't you have the first revolving stage, apparently, outside the West End?
We did. When we bought it, my grandfather bought it in 1933, and the first thing he did was to put a big revolving stage in.
So there was a first for outside the West
End.
End?
It was. At that time, there was a lot of big bands coming, and that was the reason, was to revolve them around.
And it's always been full, hasn't it, this theatre?
It has. Well, I'd say always been full, but we get good houses. And because one of the reasons is that we bring the very best artists.
I've never played here. It's one of the few theatres I've never played, actually.
Well, we'd like you to put that right now, and perhaps you'd like to sing a song for us.
Do you think the acoustic will take it?
We'll take that chance.
At last I found me. Oh, I know at last the secret of it all. Oh, the longing, seeking, striving, waiting, yearning, the burning hopes, the joy, and idle tears that fall. Oh, it is love and love alone the world is seeking.
Set in attractive parklands, the Ray Den Centre was established some 12 years ago. It's run jointly with the medical and educational authorities to help preschool children who have special needs. Ray Den's main purpose is to operate an assessment centre. The children who come here to be examined may have a severe degree of handicap or a comparatively minor problem, such as a speech defect, or they may simply be slow starters. I've come to meet Dr. Gaynor Cole, who is the paediatric neurologist in charge. Dr. Cole, how do you go about helping a child with a problem?
We see a large number of children under 5 here with a variety of problems, ranging from children with quite severe multiple handicap to children with minor learning difficulties to children with physical problems and even social problems. When they're referred to us, they come to the units and would spend a week here and be seen by different experts. In the centre, we have almost 70 people in our team, consisting of physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, educational psychologists, clinical psychologists, nurses and teachers. And during the week, the child would be seen by the appropriate people. After that, we'd have a meeting and discuss what we found, discuss the child's needs, and decide how best we might help him.
Of course, then you have to make your assessments known to the parents. That must be pretty difficult.
Yes, it can be. Nobody knows a child as well as his own parents, and many of the parents have been aware for some time that there is a problem, and very frequently parents are relieved to have their child's problem defined and know that something can be done about it. I think in other cases where perhaps one is dealing with a young infant who has severe handicap, it can be a difficult task, and parents have more difficulty accepting the problem. Often they will go through a process of mourning, or they will feel very guilt-ridden about their child's problems. The great majority of parents eventually come to accept their child's problem, and I think it's a constant lesson to us all here how parents come to terms with their child's handicap and, in fact, work very hard to ensure that the child achieves his maximum potential. We have a very lively nursery school here, and perhaps you'd like to go and see some of the work the children are doing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cole, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Morning, all.
Good morning.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Rosemary, isn't it?
It is indeed.
May I join you?
Please, you
Thank
have
you.
that chair.
Take the
I'll
chair,
sit on the
take
floor.
it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it did. Oh, you've got a cheerful lot here this morning, haven't you?
But they're always like this.
Are they?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, yes. They've been waiting for a very important visitor.
Who's that? Now, they're very good with music too, aren't they? Music helps, doesn't it?
We like to sing. You can sing when you're putting on your coat. You can sing when you're tying your shoes. You can find a song to sing anytime. Would you like to hear us sing a
I
song?
would be delighted to hear the song, yes.
Shall we sing our song again, if you're happy and you know it?
Again.
Again. Again. One more time. You clap first.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Stamp your feet.
Happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet.
Nod your
Some children owe their lives to the special nursery in Forester Hill Hospital, where premature babies are cared for. You may remember on Highway 3 years ago, I met Dr. David Lloyd. He was in charge of the unit and trying desperately to achieve better facilities for the many tiny patients in his care. I felt I couldn't visit Aberdeen again without finding out what progress had been made.
When we last met, we talked about fundraising for a new unit. And in January of '84, we had our first meeting. And in August of '84, we started to gather funds. But this really didn't gather apace until the middle of 1985. And we raised a total of £900,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is, by April of this year. In fact, the final £750,000 came in 12 months.
That's tremendous.
I think that just shows how generous people are. And people contributed from 5-year-olds to 90-year-olds, and the vast majority of the money came from the Grampian region and Orkney and Shetlands.
Did it really? How much more money do you need?
Well, we've raised all the money we need, and as you can see, building has started. Building started in January. And if I could just show you what's been happening, you can see along here are going to be offices and mother and baby rooms, and storerooms for equipment and special x-ray facilities. And at the end, the taller structure, that's going to be the business end, where we in fact have our patients, the sick preterm babies and the sick bigger babies who require the expertise of our medical and nursing staff.
It's a great success story. Now, when do you expect to open it?
December 1987.
Well, let's hope we can come up here and see you again for the opening.
I certainly hope so, and as you're a patron, I think I must hold you to that.
All right, sir. It's a promise.
Thank you.
Now from a new building to some very old buildings, because here we are in old Aberdeen. Some of the houses around me are from the 15th century. The town originally grew around the ancient St. Margaret's Cathedral and the university's King's College. This famous bridge, the Brig of Balgownie, was completed on the orders of King Robert the Bruce in 1329. The river is a River Don, and further along its banks, Mary Cameron is singing the lovely Scots song, Doris Dear. Aberdeen's University was founded in 1495. It was originally called King's College, and behind me is its chapel. Beneath a very distinctive crown tower, the university choir, conducted by Dr. Roger Williams, will now sing Jesu, joy of man's desiring. Jesu, joy of man's desiring. A good prelude for our reading for this week, which is from the Bible, but not in a language quite familiar to some of us. It's a new translation in Scots. David Haggart here can tell us the story. What is the story?
Well, this translation was prepared by Professor Lorimer, who was a Greek scholar and who taught in Dundee University and St Andrews University. And for this translation, he went right back to the original Greek and made a fresh translation using the Scottish vocabulary that he'd become accustomed to as a boy in Angus. It's probably unfamiliar to many people. Many of the words are unusual, but if we take a very familiar passage, I think everyone should understand it fairly well. Gin I speak with the tongues of men and angels, but hae nae love in my heart, I'm no nane better nor dunner in breasts or a ringing cymbal. Gin I hae the gift of prophecy, and am acquaint with the sacred mind of God, and ken a'thing other that man may ken, and gin I hae second faith as can flit the hills frae their larynx, gin I hae a' that, but hae nae love in my heart, I am nocht. In my bairn days, I had the speech o' a bairn, the mind o' a bairn, the thoughts o' a bairn. But noo that I'm grown man muckle, I'm through wi' a'thing bairnly. Noo we are like looking in a mirror and seeing a'thing a thraw. But then was look a'thing braid at the face. Noo I ken a'thing hoflins wise, but then I will ken a'thing as weel as God kens me. In sma, there is 3 things bides for aye: faith, hope, love. But the greatest of the 3 is love.
And I would close with a song which Aberdonians have made famous the world over. Sometimes here the northern sky is lit in a wonderful way by the aurora borealis, which inspired the song The Northern Lights of Old Aberdeen.
The northern lights of old Aberdeen mean home, sweet home to me. The northern lights of Aberdeen are what I long to see. I've been a wanderer all of my life, and many a sight I've seen. Godspeed the day when I'm on my way to my home in Aberdeen. When I was a lad, a tiny wee lad, my mother said to me, come see the northern lights, my boy, they're bright as they can be. She called them the heavenly dancers, merry dancers in the sky. I'll never forget that wonderful sight, they made the heavens bright. The northern lights of old Aberdeen mean home, sweet home to me. The northern lights of Aberdeen are what I long to see. I've been a wanderer all of my life, and many a sight I've seen. Godspeed the day when I'm on my way to my home in
Well, time now to leave Aberdeen, a city with a lot going for it, and where I was delighted to meet again Dr. David Lloyd, and even more delighted to find that his work continues apace, soon to be housed in a brand new building. Next week, highway goes to Wales, to Aberystwyth. I'll see you then.